Today in our learning, we're going to be thinking about three-dimensional shapes. And we're going to be looking in particular about the properties of three-dimensional shapes. Have a look at this chart. I've got four shapes across the bottom. And just put my pointer on. Okay, let's have a look at this one. And this one is, I'm sure you can say what that one it is. It is a cube. And I know it's a cube because all the sides are the same size. This one, it's a long shape, so that means it's a prism. And it's got triangles on these ends, so that is a triangular prism. This one, if it's got triangles reaching a point, then I know that's a kind of pyramid. But what kind of pyramid is it? Well, it's got a square base, so it's a square-based pyramid. And this one is a cylinder. So let's have a look. Let's take the cylinder, because I've got to put the name of the shape in here and match up the image. But I've got to have a look at these properties. So I wonder which is which. So if I'm going to take the cylinder here. Now, the cylinder has got, its faces are the flat sides that you can see, or it may be curved. There's one there at the front. There's one there at the back. And of course, you've got the one that goes all the way around as well. Don't forget that. That's a face as well. So those are the faces. So it's got three faces. Now, there's only one here that's got three faces, and it's this one. But let's check that the rest is right. It's got two edges. Well, the edges are all of the lines that go around the outside, including the dotted ones, because you can't see those through a solid shape, but it's showing you the edges there. So all these lines, you have to count those very carefully as you go around. Those are the edges. And the vertices, of course, are the points or the corners. Well, it's got an edge around there. It's got an edge around the second circle there. It's got no points and no corners. So I know that the cylinder fits in with this one here. Can you pause the video and just decide where these other three should go on this diagram? Okay, let's have a look at the answers. And there we are. I wonder if you've got that right. So that's just a bit of a warm-up, a bit of practice at reminding ourselves of the properties of 3D shapes. Let's look at some of the questions you're going to be coming across today. Count and name the 2D shapes in this net. Okay, well, I can see squares. See one there, and I can see rectangles. It's not enough for me to say squares and rectangles. I have to say how many I can see. So in this case, I have 2 squares and 4 rectangles, and that's what you must do, is say how many you can see of each. Here's a picture of a net, and I've got to imagine folding that net up to make a 3D shape. Which 3D shape does it match? Well, I can tell which one it doesn't match because I can see rectangles on here. And so it's going to be some sort of cuboid. If I can see 2 squares, those are the faces on either side, and the rectangles mean it's going to be some sort of cuboid. So I can ignore this one because that's a cube, because all the sides are the same. So I know that one's not right. These are both cuboids. I wonder which one it's going to be. This one looks a bit flat to me. These sides here look a bit narrow. So I'm going to say it's this green one. And we're right. Which 3D shape does the statement describe? My base is an octagon. I also have 8 sides, which are triangles. Now, remember what I said earlier. If a shape has triangles on it, then it is some kind of pyramid, possibly. This has got a base as an octagon. Well, an octagon has got 8 sides, and because it's got a base and it's got triangular faces, that tells me it's an octagonal pyramid. And there we are. The only other shape that has triangles on it is a triangular prism, which we found out about in our warm-up activity. Now I've got to match the faces to the correct 3D shapes. So I need to know what these shapes are. And if I'm not sure, I need to look it up and find out. If it's a hexagonal pyramid, well, I know that the bottom of it, the base, is a hexagon, which means it's got 6 sides. And if it's a pyramid, it's got triangular faces rising to a point, and it will have 6 triangular faces because a hexagon has got 6 sides. So I'm going to match it to that one, 6 triangular faces. A cuboid. Now I know a cuboid has 2 squares, one on either end, and the rest of it is made out of rectangles. I might be tempted to say this one, but if I think very, very carefully, I know that a cuboid has got one rectangle on the top and one on the bottom, one at the right-hand side and one at the left-hand side, but that's only 4. So it's not that one. But I also know that a cuboid has got a square face at the front and a square face at the back. 2 square faces, that matches to that one. So this must be right, but I want to understand why it's right. This is a pentagonal prism, so it's a long shape. And if it's pentagonal, it's got a pentagon at the front and at the back, and a pentagon has got 5 sides. Because it's a prism, it's got rectangles from each of those 5 sides. So it's got 5 rectangular faces. Those are the types of questions that you're going to be doing today.